Hola from Florianopolis, Brazil, the capital of southern Brazil's Santa Catarina state. Florianopolis is made up of mostly an island. That is a 54-kilometer long island off the mainland of Brazil, brimming with an abundance of beautiful beaches, lush mountains, sand dunes, lagoons, and of course, the vibrant Brazilian culture. Oh, and did we mention the breathtaking scenery? Join us on our latest adventure to Brazil, where we'll take you through our top 5 recommendations of things to do when visiting Florianopolis.
Number 1 is beaching. Where do we even start with this one? We're not going to tell you that you have to go to a specific beach in Florianopolis, hence the name for this is beaching. Florianopolis is surrounded by water, so there are endless options for beaches. We'd recommend starting with ones that are closest to where you decide to stay. No matter what beach you choose, you can't really go wrong. We ended up staying in Barra da Lagoa, and we frequented 2 beaches nearby, Praia da Barra da Lagoa and Praia Mole. The beaches here have classic white sand with minimal rocks, and clear blue water that's actually not that cold, considering that a lot of the beaches here face the Atlantic Ocean. Trust us, you won't be disappointed.
Number 2 is hiking. In addition to endless beach options, there are also endless hiking options in Floripa. The trails are spread out across the island, so it's likely you'll have a trail or two pretty close by to wherever you choose to stay. We did a few different hikes ourselves, like Chilha Boa Vista, Gravata, and Camino da Costa da Lagoa, and they varied a lot in difficulty. We recommend using the All Trails app to pick a hike that works best for you depending on your location, as well as the distance and duration that you're interested in. There's really a nice mix of everything. And if you're looking for any other reasons to convince yourself to go hiking here, we'd say it's worth it for these views.
Number 3 is the Florianópolis Centro. Whether you're staying in the Centro already or on a different part of the island, we'd highly recommend taking at least a morning or an afternoon to explore the city center. There are so many markets, street vendors, shops, bars, restaurants, and really cool architecture, all located in the city center. Some of the most notable landmarks being Palácio Cruz e Souza, Catedral Metropolitana, Mercado Público, and the Centro Histórico area. For being such a tropical, beachy destination, this is actually quite a built-up, bustling city, except of course for the day that we happen to be filming, which was a holiday. But we swear, normally it's a lot busier. We recommend signing up for a walking tour or just spending an afternoon wandering around yourself. If you're staying in a quieter area of the island like we did, it's really nice to switch things up and spend some time in this busy Brazilian city.
Number 4 is water activities/excursions. There are plenty of options here for water activities such as surfing, canoeing, paddleboarding, boating, or kayaking. We ended up booking a kayak tour and trying our hand at surfing. We booked the kayak tour through Viator, and no, this is not sponsored, and it was a 5-hour tour where we got to kayak around Lagoa de Conceição with a few stops along the way. For surfing, there are endless surf schools in each of the towns. You can really go anywhere if you're interested. But if neither of these 2 activities are your thing, there are still many other water activity options available for you to pick from.
Number 5 is trying Brazilian food and drinks.
Okay, this isn't necessarily a place to see or an activity per se, but hear us out. If there's one thing to take away from this, it's consume as much tropical fruit as possible. Not only is it widely available whether you want to have it in its whole form or in a different type of fruit juice, but it also just feels right based on the climate. Other food options that you should try here are the buffet restaurants, which are really common here and they're perfect after a long busy day at the beach swimming or hiking nearby. If you're big on seafood, there's tons of options considering the location and all. There are plenty of Brazilian beers available at stores and restaurants. Our personal favorite was called Eisenbahn, which is a beer made in a German-influenced town called Blumenau. There are also cocktails such as the caipirinha or this mojito that was made with pineapple, and wow, these are good. Other foods to try in Brazil are brigadeiros, pão de queijo, coxinhas, pastéis, and more. And we should note that you can definitely find a lot of these foods across Brazil. They're not necessarily unique to Floripa.
And that's our top 5 for visiting Florianopolis, Brazil. A few other tips we'd like to share with you are, firstly, the sun goes down around 6 p.m., so the days aren't that long here, unless you're a very early riser. Secondly, we found that staying in an area like Barra da Lagoa was very safe, even at night. Florianopolis overall is one of the safest cities in Brazil, but always remember to be mindful and diligent. And lastly, there are public buses that run around the island, but we also found Uber to be very affordable, and it didn't actually cost much more than the bus, as long as you're splitting it between at least 2 people. Overall, if you're looking for a solid beach vibe with beautiful views, you should go to Florianopolis. If you're curious about Brazil and want to go to a safe city, you should also go to Florianopolis. We really enjoyed our time here, relaxing, spending time outdoors, and experiencing the Brazilian culture and friendly people, and we highly recommend that you add Florianopolis to your future travel destinations. Until next time. Cheers!